have a special guest with us today on the Get Real podcast, straight from Virginia. Jen Carr.
Hey guys.
So today we're going to talk about becoming a local celebrity, which I think we've talked about in a few episodes in the past and stuff today. But one of the big reasons why Jen is with us today is I know a lot of people are probably familiar with some local guides that real estate agents use and send out. We have one and stuff that we have here and one that we're working on revamping and stuff. But Jen, and we talked about it last week, I think a little bit. Jen has a VA 101 guide. So we're really excited to talk about that a little bit and jump into that. So you want to tell us how that got started? And
yes. So basically when I was stationed in Japan with my husband, we were there for 3 years. They had 101 things to do while you're stationed in Japan. So whenever I moved to North Carolina, became a real estate agent, we started doing some stuff. And I had always thought like, that would be so cool to do, a guide here in North Carolina. Well, I never got to that. So when I moved to Virginia and I was starting my business there, I was like, all right, I don't have anything going on right now. What can I do to kind of, ramp up my business and meet people local in the area, get to know the area that I just moved to. And I came up with the VA 101, which is 101 things to do while you're stationed at Quantico.
I love it.
Yeah, I actually saw it like on Facebook the other day. I was like scrolling through like pictures of a friend's daughter's birthday party is what it was. And I was like, oh my God, it's Jen's list. And I like sent her a screenshot of it. And I was like, look, I found your list. And she's like, no. No.
It's just that's where I got the idea from that list though. So,
it was the Japan one.
The Japan one, yeah.
But that's how it works. That's how that recognition works, is that you see one thing and as soon as you see it again and again and again, every single time your brain goes back to that person who published it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's been, again, it's really helped me get to know a new area because again, moving to Virginia, I didn't know anything about Virginia. Right. So I moved there and being able to, come up with the 101 things to do and then to implement it and put it into a brochure. We host, monthly events. So we have coffee dates, hiking dates. We have all kinds of different things. We did, coffee and crafts with the kids for Christmas. And that was a lot of fun. So people got to bring their kids in. And really it's just kind of that relationship building, process with other people. And, then you bring up real estate every once in a while.
Well, it's a great tool to give to your buyers and stuff when they come to the area that are new. And it's not just military too, but people that move from out of the state or even just out of the town or the area. And even people who have lived here forever don't even know all that stuff that's on there. I mean, I've lived here forever and I don't know anything.
I think it's also a great icebreaker for your online leads. And when I say that, I don't mean your realtor.com or, your paid leads. I'm talking about when there is somebody who tags you on a local Facebook page and they're like, hey, I'm looking for a realtor. And one of your past clients tags you and they get overwhelmed by probably 100 different recommendations. And then that gives, if you're just reaching out with a simple text message to say, hey, somebody tagged me, how can I help you? Or you're reaching out with a piece of gold of, hey, when you get here, this is what I have for you. By the way, if you need anything, let me know.
That piece of value that we're always talking about, come from a place of value. People love to have something, especially tangible.
Yeah. And that's kind of what again, I wanted to be able to give somebody something that they can actually use. Like you said, even if you've lived in an area for 10, 20 years, all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I've never been to, or I drive by in Virginia, there's George Washington's boyhood home. Okay. I drive by it all the time, and it's like, how many times do people actually really go to look at that? Probably not a lot, but it's like, again, it's like, oh, that's so unique. Yeah. It's a tourist spot, but it's so unique and it's so cool. So you hand that out to, just anybody. And we have this group, it's called Stafford Talk. In Virginia, and it's not, military related, anything like that. But people are always asking like, hey, where can I go to eat, a date night dinner, or where can we go for a day trip? And so I'm able to give that to them saying, hey, I have a list of 101 things that you can do. It has date night stuff in there. It has hiking at things, day trips, overnight trips, and it makes it, really beneficial to them.
And restaurants. Like what other kind of things are on your list?
So there is things to do in Washington, D.C. Because there's tons of things.
So it's
that
like
are free.
it's not just the little town
No.
too, but it's like, you know, like a day trip to go to some places.
Yeah. So when we first got to Virginia, my husband likes trains. And so we took a train trip in West Virginia, which is only a couple hours from us. And we got to see bald eagles along the train trip. They do things for Christmas, you know, like the, what is it? The train trip and
trolleys.
Christmas. Yeah,
the Polar Express.
The Polar Express. They do the Polar Express in West Virginia. Again, it's like a day trip just to go up there and back. And it was something that we had a blast doing that we would have never thought, you know, so I put that on the list because I'm like, this was a lot of fun. So again, there's date night things. There is, you know, places to go hiking, like stuff to do outdoors, stuff to do indoors. Again, just all kinds of different things to kind of meet everybody's needs. People who have kids, you know, things. We have Brayhead Farms where you can actually pick flowers, and they have a little farm there, so they have all kinds of farm animals. So it's again something fun for the kids to do as well.
So we were working on ours last week, and you know, once we started, the ideas just kept coming, and it was like actually like growing so fast that we were like, okay, well, you know, maybe we'll do one that's like just, you know, Craven County or New Bern, and then one that's Carteret County and stuff, because there ended up being so much stuff. You know, really cool parks and playgrounds and nature hiking trails and, you know, all this stuff. And then we were like, oh, well, we should do, you know, seasonal ones too, because in our area we have Mom Fest and the seafood festival, and I can't think of what else.
Well, we literally have like what they call festival season.
Right. Right.
For 2 months straight, every weekend is a festival between here and the beach. So
yeah. Once the weather is nice, like there is something going on here all the time. So, you know, that's why I was like, we started this list and we were just like, okay. And then we're like, okay, we're going to have to like, you know, hone this down a little bit because we were so excited. We were excited with so many restaurants and, you know, everything. That's where we're like, we could really expand on this, you know, for town to town or, you know, whatever. I mean, even if somebody is looking in both of the areas, we could give them, you know, multiple local guides.
My biggest piece of advice after doing that last week and getting started on it is to literally just write down anything at all. Because I think, like Jess said, we got so overwhelmed by it that we were like, oh my gosh, we need to cut it back. But we didn't. We literally just went with it because I felt like it was better to have everything and then go back and revise it than to try to leave stuff out.
Yeah, that's exactly what you said. You're like, let's just write it all out and then we can weed it out.
Yeah, and then the longer we did it, the more ideas came of how to organize it. So it really was like just like a big like throw up on a piece of paper. That
it is. And you know, it took me a long time to get my list done and finished because I didn't know like, okay, I can take out this or put in this, or I really like this coffee shop, but this coffee shop's really cool too. And I kind of came to the same thing. I was like, oh my gosh, this would be so fun to do like a, you know, like one coffee shop per day or once a week for the next like 6 months. Like, hey, you meet up with your, you know, your group of people and you're going to try out this coffee shop and then you try out the next one and the next one and kind of do like a little stamp on it. So you get through it.
One of the things that we were talking about, I really love that stamp idea, but our thing was we were going to create a key that would be like family friendly, pet friendly, or adults only, so that we could have the multiple coffee shops, you know, and all the stuff, because, you know, you don't want to always just have one because not everybody is going to like that one, but maybe somebody wants one they can bring their dog to. So we just like, well, we'll create this key and stuff. I think that's a good idea.
I love that. I love it. Yeah. Because like there's one coffee shop, it's called Coffee Bar 1010, and they have like boozy coffee. So they have, you know, alcoholic drinks. They actually have a bar at night too. They do karaoke, but it is dog friendly. And then they also have like a little patio outside as well. So that would be really good. I like that.
Yeah, I like that a lot. So one of the things that I really want to talk about while we're still on this particular topic is how to use this to lead generate, because that's a big part too, is, you know, to use it to our benefit and not just to the clients that we already have. So have you found a way that you're using it to generate leads currently?
So it's still
Or you're
kind of
working
new.
on it?
Yeah, it's still kind of new. And I'm getting like the brochures printed out and everything.
Mhm.
I have an online, brochure to give out. But
Mhm.
what I'm going to do is go to those
So
businesses.
you're going to make a print copy.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
see.
make a print copy, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop them off at the businesses that are on there, and ask them like, hey, can I leave these here? It's 101 things to do. Your business is actually one of the things I have on there, so that I can leave
like
those
that.
at all the businesses as well, and then they can give that out. So I thought that would be really fun, and then I would get to talk to the business owners. As well, like face to face. I know some of them already just from going in there to those businesses myself, but a lot of times, you go in, you enjoy it, and then you leave. But I feel like this will be an opportunity for me to actually meet the business owners for some of the items that are on the 101 list.
So then you have it branded to you
Yep.
with your information on it.
And my information's on the back. So again, I didn't want to make it like real estate, because that's not what it was about. It's about, again, getting out and building those relationships with people and having fun events to be able to go to. But it does go back to real estate. And, you want someone to have that information to be able to use it if they are interested in buying or selling.
And you also have like this whole 101 guide that you can use for your social media posts or business spotlights and make videos and posts and all kinds of other stuff too.
Make a little TikTok.
Athena and I are really big on creating landing pages. So another way to, probably use that is if you wanted to, if you're using it on your social media, any of the platforms and stuff, instead of just giving them the brochure right away, you could create an opt-in link so that you're collecting their email and everything too, to add them to your database, and then give them a digital copy of it.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
And then have it, automatically just email to them. But you can also say like, hey, for a physical copy, stop by any of these local businesses and grab a copy.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah. Or send me your address on the landing page so that you can have a full database contact.
Ooh, that's really good, Athena.
Right.
And then you add them to your mailing list for Christmas cards, the things that you wouldn't, the little touches that are a little bit more special than just the new listings that hit the market.
Or to mail them cards later on.
Yeah, absolutely. Or, and again, like I want to have that monthly, like tied into the VA 101 is doing monthly events. So like the last time we went to Warrior Coffee, just a little meetup, try a different coffee shop, done Coffee Bar 1010, we've done different events at different locations. And so again, doing that monthly event, like, hey, maybe they can opt in for, hey, would you like to receive the monthly emails that go out? And then that would
that can be right on your landing page. Just be like, hey, when you sign up, you will be getting, access to our monthly meetups. Any events that, we're putting on and stuff. So, I mean, it's like a huge benefit to them. I mean, really, where can I sign up?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you want to go to different events, and learn different places? Like, there's a Cinco de Mayo thing coming up at the Fredericksburg, Expo Center. And I'm like, margaritas and tacos. Okay. Like sign me up. Let's do a little meetup there. That'll be a lot of fun. And we also have like a Fredericksburg Nationals, like minor league baseball team in our area. So again, it's so much fun because you can just go down there. So there's just so many, like you said, there's so many different events that you can do for just a wide range of people. Again, kids, dogs, all kinds of things. So it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah. And, these are, this is just a really big way to become a local celebrity and stuff. And then, some of the other ways that we've talked about previously would be, your vehicle wrap. Like I have my Jeep wrapped. Athena's got her, branding decal and stuff on it and everything. And I get so much interaction from my vehicle wrap. And Athena, you've gotten a lot of stuff going on now too with yours.
Not quite, but I literally have a brand new teenager driving that car. So it's real going to be a couple years before.
So
that
Jen,
was like really bad timing on my part.
Yeah, I was gonna say that might not have been the best thing. My license plate actually says EXP Jen, and I got a text message from another EXP agent, and they're like, Jen, like I get so many text messages and calls, people asking me, do you know this EXP Jen? And so it was really funny that he sent that. His name's Teddy, and he sent me over this text. He's like, you're just a celebrity in the area. I was like, oh, good, that's nice. So I get it from a lot of the other EXP agents in the area, though. They're like, Jen, everybody asks me if I know who you are.
So Jen and I are getting ready to drive to Florida tomorrow, and I'm not taking the Jeep. just because we wanted more room. But I told my husband that he couldn't drive it while I was gone because he was a bad representation for 2 reasons. One, because he doesn't wave to other Jeeps. And if you own a Jeep, you're in part of an exclusive Jeep club where you wave to other Jeepers. He doesn't do that. He also does not use blinkers, and he's a very defensive driver. So I told him that he could not drive my vehicle with my name and phone number on it, that he had to drive the teenager's car.
Like, please don't drive mine.
Yeah. So that would be bad celebrity.
Yeah, you don't want that. Like, I saw that you cut me off. I don't like this don't use this real estate agent.
Exactly. Recalling that number and cussing you out. So some of the other, ideas to become a local celebrity would be, commercials, billboards, radio, and then, our favorite Facebook groups and stuff too. But really these all interact together. Wouldn't you say, Athena? You want to
Yeah, and I'm thinking, literally anywhere that you can get your face, so that the more places. And I was thinking about this on my drive through, and I feel like we probably should have done this at the very beginning of the podcast, but my brain is lagging. So we'll do it now instead. Here's a little disclaimer, because I feel like hopefully everybody didn't check out when they heard local celebrity. Okay. But on our podcast, we try to do different types of lead generation, not just one. So this might not be for everybody. Not everybody wants to, if we're talking like the difference between those extroverted and introverted people right now, not everybody wants to be that local celebrity, and that's okay. But hopefully you'll take something from this podcast today that you can make work for you. And I just, like I said, when I said put your face out there anywhere that it can go, that's what kind of reminded me of that, because not everybody wants that. In fact, Michelle from our team, when she first started, she didn't want her name anywhere. And we were like, Michelle, how are you going to be a real estate agent if you can't share your name?
She still won't put her face on her signs yet either.
No, and she said, but I have a kid and I don't want people looking me up. And we're like, yes, you do.
Yeah.
Don't look me up if you know you're a real estate agent. So anyway, that's just a little disclaimer that yes, it sounds, when we say local celebrity, it sounds very almost pretentious, right? And that's not what we're looking for. But just take the little nuggets that you can and realize that every lead generation is different for every personality type.
Yeah. And, some of these too, you can use as, an introverted person and stuff, because, maybe if you don't want to go to the local businesses like Jen does, you can do it all online from your computer in the safety of your Snuggie, right? Jen is a little bit more of a people person than I am. And so I'm very introverted and I love to be behind my computer in most cases. We were actually talking about this yesterday about how, we don't want to go out. We don't want to do all of this stuff. But when we go, we have a really good time. But it's the, anticipation always. But for everybody else who feels that way too, a lot of the stuff that we've talked about today, you just have to tweak it and make it work for you. That's what I've done my entire real estate career. Is not, the cold calling and the door knocking and all that stuff, but finding a way that it works for me, which is why we're so lucky for the way that the world is today with online marketing. Yeah. Creating those landing pages and doing paid ads to push people to collect their information is perfectly fine if you don't want to go out to the local businesses. However, you are missing a huge opportunity because those businesses should be rewarding you for doing their marketing for them as well.
Yeah. Well, and it's nice too, just to kind of, again, I am probably an extrovert for the most part, but then
introverted extrovert.
Yes, an introverted extrovert. Because I love being around people. I love going out there, but then I need to kind of like decompress at home and be quiet. Like I don't want to hear anything.
People out.
Yes, I need to have all peopled out. But I can people all day long, but then I need to kind of like come back. And there are some things like today, Jess is like, we're so excited. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. My palms are sweaty. I don't know. She's like, you talk to people all the time. I'm like, I just don't know if I can do this. Literally sweaty palms. But it's fun. Like you said, once you get out there and you start doing it, it becomes a lot easier, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So again, the first time you do it, it might be a little bit overwhelming, and you don't know if you can do it, and you don't want to talk in front of people. And if it's my hair okay? Am I red? Is my makeup fine?
And you know what also really helps a lot with that too, is you're coming from a place of value.
Yes.
You know, it's a good thing. You're not asking people for business. You're not asking them for money. You're not asking to list their home for sale. You're not doing any of that. You're giving them something, and giving something always makes people feel good.
Yeah.
You can't feel bad about like, oh, here, have this D8 101 guide.
Yeah.
You know, like you can't feel bad about giving somebody something awesome.
Yeah, that's very true.
It makes you happy.
You all make me happy.
Y'all make me happy. So I think, you know, becoming a local celebrity is definitely different for everyone. And like Athena says, you know, you just have to, you know, find what works for you. You know, if you don't want to be on a billboard in your town, then by all means don't. I mean, you might just be so beautiful that you cause too many car wrecks anyways. Nobody wants
I can think
that.
of one person in particular, and I won't like name names because most people aren't in our area to know who they are, but I can think of one guy in particular that he's a real estate agent, and he has become a local celebrity, not because he puts his face everywhere or anything, but because he knows the market stats so well. Like you could run into him on the street, and he probably frequents quite a few of the local bars, but you could run into him on the street and he could tell you how many average days on market there are in any single neighborhood.
Wow.
That's out there. And some people's brains work that way. I mean, some people just want to know. They don't want the fluff. They want the meat and potatoes. So I think that becoming the local celebrity is more so of finding your people who want to know the information that you kind of mesh with. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And your area of local celebrityness. It doesn't have to just be like real estate all the time, but you know, with these guides or, you know, your vehicle wrap or any of this other stuff, it's more of a marketing expert. It's more of an events expert and stuff. And you're bringing people in so that they are in your circle, and then they see the real estate and everything else. You don't want to throw up real estate all over everybody. It's boring in most times. Like,
and I don't want to like throw like, you know, the MLM type stuff, but you know, if you have like somebody, I love Rodent and Fields. Okay. I use it. I love it. It works for my skin. But I had a person once that was just like, once you saw her, you're like, oh my gosh, like go the other way, because that's all you would ever hear. You know, this. You know, you should sell it. You should do this. And it was just like, she became that person that you avoided because that's all she talked about.
Or people that only want to be your friends because they want to talk to you about their,
you know, and it's like,
business.
come on, you know, that's not what it's about.
Like when you get a friend request and you see that they work for like Thrive or Young Living and stuff, and you're like, I don't know you. I'm pretty sure you don't want to be my friend because you love me.
Yeah.
Because I'm a local celebrity. I'm pretty sure you want to sell me something.
My favorite are the lifestyle coaches that friend me, because I don't know if they know that I probably need a lifestyle coach or but at least once or twice a week I get a lifestyle coach that will send me a friend request, and I'm like,
what was it? It was a couple of weeks ago. I got one that was a real estate fitness person. I was like, I don't know if I should be offended right now, or like, I don't know you. I don't know where you came from. Yeah. So you only want to be my friend because you think I'm a fat real estate agent, or what?
Or what? Because I don't like to work out.
It's a random thought, but if you are kind of struggling trying to figure out where to get started, a good way to get started might be finding like a cause that you believe in, like a local one. It doesn't even necessarily have to be local, but fundraising for that, because people will follow the cause, right? Yeah. So if you have like a food shelter and you want to advertise, you know, food donations for this or that, people will start following you, and you can create that following around your cause. But that would be a good way to get started too, if you're struggling just to get started.
Yeah. And even taking that just a step further, you know, if you wanted to tie it into your niche and stuff, like Athena is obsessed with misplaced mutts. Like instead of doing a whole entire like VA 101 guide, stuff like that. You could literally do like your local pet guide,
Yeah.
and be like adoption places, pet grooming, spas, daycare. You could just have a whole list that's catered right to that, because then those are going to be your people that you're bringing in, right? Do you want to do like the top books? You could do a book guide, or you could do anything. If you're just obsessed with coffee and you want to find other coffee people, you could do an entire list of just coffee. Like, you don't have to do it as big as we're talking about. You can ditch it down to, Athena's misplaced mutts and all her puppy dogs that she keeps trying to get everybody to buy and adopts. But, you can make it work for you if you want, like maybe you're just obsessed with sandwiches and you want to do all the sub places. Mine would be mac and cheese.
Oh, I love mac and cheese. Well, like I went to the other day, it was really nice, one of our first really nice days in Virginia. And there is a river, Rappahannock River, and a lot of, I love birds. Okay. So I got tattoos of birds. I love birds. And so I see all these pictures of all these photographers that are down there taking pictures of bald eagles and blue herons and ospreys, all kinds of stuff, So it was a super nice day. I dropped my kids off at school and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go walk down there, grab my camera. I talked to so many people along the trail because I had my camera and my binoculars and like, oh, did you see anything good today? Did you see, oh, did you get any great pictures? Talked to this old gentleman for probably like 10 minutes. It just brought me like so much joy, I guess, from just doing something that was
that you love,
that I love doing. And I was just like, wow, that was just one day. And I talked to probably like 10 different people that were just super nice. And it wasn't something that I would normally have done, but I joined that group, saw all those pictures. I'm like, my pictures are not as good as theirs, but it was just a lot of fun. So but it gets you out. It gets you out and gets you to enjoy your local community as well. Because I know a lot of times, like being in military, Athena, Jess, people are like, oh my gosh, you're getting stationed at Cherry Point. Have not, it's like, there's nothing to do there. It's so boring. Oh my gosh, there's so much to do here. You have so many different events. You just have to like look beyond your little, like, your house, your front door, and kind of get out and explore. So,
what is this weekend is the Mount Olive Pickle Festival. I know I'm going to miss it. So I'm sad, but yeah.
I've never appreciated Havelock more than after being away this weekend. I was like, I need to go home to my little hole where I fit in.
That's right. Clothes and allergy wise and the whole list, huh?
I won't leave little Havelock for a long time.
Traffic, let me tell you, traffic. I love Havelock and traffic. It's wonderful.
It's a breath of fresh air sometimes.
It is.
But that's it, guys. You just have to find, what works for you. You don't have to create, 101, or maybe you can do 1,001, or you can niche it down and have 10 different types of, opt-in forms and brochures and stuff. And another great way to do that in the digital format is to create that digital magazine that we talked about previously as well. Today was a fun one, and my wheels are turning, and I took notes, and I'm still ready to get back to working on ours. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm taking notes too, because again, making sure that you're collecting those people and doing landing pages is super important, so that you have people that you can send this stuff out to.
Absolutely.
Thanks for letting me join today, guys.
Bye, friends. Bye.